This is how Satan escaped the deluge that killed the sons of God. Who were the giant men? Them whom were the offspring of the women and the sons of God. Friends, Satan is called God, and this message is how Satan was able to survive the deluge which wiped out the giants in the time of Noah. Matthew chapter 1 verse 1, and this is the book of the generation of whom is the Iys Christ, from the ancestry of Abraham to the ancestry of David. Matthew chapter 1 verse 17, so all the generations from Abraham to David were 14 generations, and from David until the carrying away into Babylon were 14 generations, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ were 14 generations. So, my friends, it is not far-fetched to think that the daughters of the Nephilms, who were the offspring of the woman, and the sons of God, that they couldn't have lived for so long. Friends, from the time of Adam even to the time of Noah, the average lifespan was 930 years, and also 950 years. And this was true with the daughters of the sons of God, who was better known as the Nephilims and the Rephaims, and also the giant men, and this is why women like Ada and Zillah and Naamah's names were found in the beginning of Genesis chapter 4 verse 19, and also in Genesis chapter 4 verse 22, and Naamah's name was found in 1 Kings chapter 14 verse 31. Friends, Ada and Zillah and Naamah were married several times, once to Lamech, and secondly to Noah, and thirdly to Esau, and even Naamah was married for a fourth time even to King Solomon. Friends, this would give them a vast lifespan, and also a very large track record in their marriages, and it is not too far-fetched to think that this was not possible. Given their lifespan of 950 years, because although it may seem a long time to us in the Bible, as I've said, many people in the Bible lived to be 930 years, and some even made it to 950 years. And if you will study the Bible, you'll see that Ada and Zillah and Naamah, that they too lived for about 950 years. And they lived for about 360 years before the antediluvian deluge, that wiped out the giants who were the sons of God Gadriel, whom was better known as Satan. And also they lived for an additional 560 years after the flood. And they even survived up to the time of King Solomon's reign. Friends, and it isn't far-fetched to believe that Ada and Zillah and Naamah couldn't have lived up to the time of King Solomon's reign. Friends, from the time of the antediluvian deluge to the time of King Solomon's reign was about 920 years. And I believe that Ada and Zillah and Naamah age came in at about 950 years. And since Naamah was the youngest, Naamah's name was mentioned as a wife of King Solomon. And she was the mother of Rehoboam. 1 Kings chapter 14 verse 21, and Rehoboam the son of Solomon reigned in Judah. And Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem and Elam, in the city which he, the did choose out of all the tribes of Israel, to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah, who was an Ammonite. Friends, the children of Satan were the sons, and the daughters of the sons of Gadriel, and Gadriel was the serpent whose name was called God, and God was the short form of the name for Gadriel, whose name was called Satan. My friends, Satan is still alive, and Satan is still a fugitive in Iys World. And he is also a vicious, deceitful vagabond in Iys World until he's being caught. And the Nephilims and the Rephaims in the Bible were the sons and daughters of the sons of God, who was called Gadriel, and whom was better known as Shaitan. Friends, Naamah became the wife of Noah before the flood came, and before the removal of the sons of God who were known as the Nephilims, and also the Rephaims, and also as the giant men, them who were striving against Elu'hymn, whom is the sovereign one of heaven, soon after Elu had created Iys World. And there are several times that the name Naamah was mentioned in the Bible. And in Genesis chapter 4 verse 22, Naamah was mentioned as a descendant of Cain. Friends, there are two family trees, one is for the genealogies of the sons of Gadriel, whom is called God, and also Satan. And the other is about whom is called Elu, and whom is the Holy One, and whom is the Iys One, whom is called Christ, and also Christ, and whom is the Christ, and also the Sovereign One of heaven, and also this is about Iys family tree, and also of the genealogies of whom is the creator of all the heavens and the earth. And about the line of Cain and the Canaanites who were the family tree of Satan, and also who were the sons of God or the sons of Satan. And this is also about the family tree of Seth who became the start of the genealogies of Abraham, and also about Elu, whom was Jacob, and whom was the sovereign head of the tribes of Israel, and Isaac whose name was called after Jacob, and whose name was called Elu. And also after whom is the Holy One, and whose name was called Israel. Likewise the sovereign one whose name is also Israel, and also who became Elu'hymn, and the holy prophet Elu'hymn, and also Christ. Friends, so this message is in two parts, the line of the Canaanites, and the sons of God whom were the giant men. And also the children of God. And the last portion is about the chosen people of Elu, whom were called the children of Israel. And also the family tree of whom is the Iys One, and also the Holy One, and the Iys Christ. And also this is the genealogies of man, and also of the giants who were the sons of Satan. And friends, this is about how Satan was able to survive the flood in the time of Noah. And how it was because of the daughters of the sons of God, like Naamah and Zillah, and also Ada, and others. My friends, Naamah was one of such women, and her name was mentioned as the only daughter of Lamech and Zillah. And also as their youngest child, and whose brother was Tubal-Cain. And also Jabal and Jubal who were her half-brothers. And that they were the two sons of Lamech with his other wife whose name was called Ada. Genesis chapter 7 verse 11, And in the day that the waters of the deluge began to rain upon Ys earth, it was after the 600 years of Noah's life, and it was in the 2nd month, and on the 17th day of that month, and after the 930 years of the death of Adam, and all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, when the windows of heaven were opened up, and after the 601 year of Noah's life, that the waters of the deluge was dried up off the entire earth. Genesis chapter 7 verse 7, In the same day that Satan hid himself in the ark, it was when the rain began to fall that Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, and also Noah's wife, Naamah, and also the 3 wives of his sons, they entered into the ark. And at that time the door of the ark was close. And the antediluvian deluge came, and it destroyed the sons of God, who were the giant men. Friend, Satan was called Gadriel, and also Gadriel, and also the old serpent, and whose name was called God for short, was a stowaway in the ark. And whose name was also known as the serpent of old, and whose name was also known as Shaitan, and who was the evil one, who was unknowingly kept alive when Satan, who was the serpent of old, crept into the ark, and Satan hid himself in there, and Satan was a fugitive and a stowaway among them. Genesis chapter 7 verse 23, And everything living that had substance, and was alive, was destroyed, and even those that was beneath the ground, and under the seas died, and even those that were upon the surface of the earth died. And also the lives of the sons of God, and the giant men them were destroyed. And also the lives of the women, and also the men, and also the lives of every cattle, and also the lives of every creeping things. And also the lives of the sea creatures, and also all the fowls that can only walk, and also those that do fly under the heavens. So all those creatures that weren't in the ark with Noah, they were all destroyed from Ys earth, and only those creatures that were in the ark with Noah survived. And they were Noah, and his wife, Naamah, and his 3 sons, and also their wives, and also Satan the old serpent, who was a stowaway in the ark unknowns to them. 2 Chronicles chapter 12 verse 13. So, King Rehoboam strengthened himself in Jerusalem, and reigned, because Rehoboam was one of the sons of Solomon who reigned after his father, and who had the monarchy taken away from him when 10 of the tribes was given to Jeroboam, who was the son of Nebat, because King Solomon's forsook Elu, and he chose to satisfy his wife's wishes by building idols and gods for them, and also altars, and also high places for his wives them to worship Baal, and also Gog and God, and also Gadriel, whom was also known as Satan, and Elu'hymn was angry with Solomon because Elu'hymn had admonished Solomon twice for following after their gods, and also for committing idolatry, and also by going after the Lord, and also after God Gadriel, and also after Baal God, whom was also called Beelzebubs and Baal-zebubs, and who was the prince of lies, and also whose name was also known as Satan. And Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in the city of Iys Jerusalem, which was Iys city, and which was the city that Elu'hymn the odd had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And King Rehoboam's mother's name was Naamah, and she was a Canaanite. And she also was an Ammonite. And she was also Noah's wife in time past. And she was also one of King Solomon's wives. And she was a woman whom had survived the antediluvian flood. And her mother Zillah was also from a species of the Nephilms and the Rephaims, and also the giants, and her mother were from the giants, or the giant men in Noah's era, and who were removed from I's earth during the antediluvian flood of Noah's era. And Naamah was a woman who worshipped the god Ammon. And Ammon was one of the Canaanites' gods, and Ammon was one of the gods that King Solomon built high places for. When Solomon built altars and high places for his wives' idols, and also their gods, so that they could worship their gods them in Israel, like the idol Milcom and Baal god and Bad Baal. And also when he built altars for his wives them when they were worshipping their gods in the hills around Iys city, which was called Iys Jerusalem. Genesis chapter 36 verse 2. And Esau took his wives from the daughters of the Canaanite people. And he took Adah, who was living with the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and also Aholibamah, who was living with the daughter of Anna, and also Aholibah the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. Friends, Zillah was the mother of Naamah, and Adah and Zillah and Naamah were also wives to the sons of Noah before the antediluvian flood that wiped out the giant men in the time of Noah. Friends, it is fair to say that Adah and Zillah and Naamah lives were also spared because they were the wives of the sons of Noah, and Naamah was probably Noah's wife. And she was probably the mother of Canaan. And Ham was Canaan's father. When Ham had a sexual affair with Naamah his father's wife while Noah was drunk by drinking too much wine. And Ham was able to father Canaan. And Ham became the father of the Canaanites. Friend, a Canaanite is a son who sleeps with their mother, and also who have children with them. And a Moabite is a daughter who sleeps with their father and have children with them. So after Noah woke up from his drunken stupor, that this was when he knew what Ham, his son, had done. Then Noah was very angry, and it is said that Noah cursed Ham and Canaan his grandchild. But here there is nothing, if anything, that was said to and done to Naamah. Friends, the 120 years limit that was allotted on the lives of the giants by Elu'hymn, it only seems to apply to the giant men, who were the offsprings of the women, and also the sons of God, and God was known to be Gadriel, and also the old serpent. But it seems that this age restriction of 120 years, that it didn't apply to the post-antediluvian women like Adah and Zillah, and also Naamah, who lived beyond that time frame. And they also continued to have children even during the time of Esau, and also during the era of King Solomon, when Naamah had a son named Rehoboam who became the king in Iys Jerusalem. And these women were part of the Rephaims, who were a part of King Solomon's household for many years, and also for some time, and also for some time after that, until when they all died out. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5, Behold, I will send you Elu'hymn, the prophet, before I's great and dreadful judgment day of Baal God, whom I's called Satan. Malachi chapter 4 verse 6, and I, Elu'hymn, the Christ, shall come as the Holy One, and as Elu'hymn, the Sovereign One of heaven. And also as Elu'hymn, the Holy Prophet, and I, Elu'hymn, shall turn the children of Israel hearts to Elu'hymn their father, and also I, Elu'hymn, shall turn the hearts of the children of God to their father, whom is called God, and whom is called Satan, lest I, Elu'hymn, should come me suddenly and smite the earth with a curse. Friends, Elu'hymn, the Sovereign One of heaven, has already came down from I's heaven. And Elu'hymn has already turned the hearts of I's chosen people to himself. And also Elu'hymn have already reserved all those that are I's. and also all those that are for God, and all those that are professing to be the children of God, and also those that are claiming to be a child or children of God that they would be gods. And they all would be reserved for Satan whom is called God. And they all would reap their rewards. But all those that are for Elu, whom Iys Christ would be Iys. And they all would inherit life everlasting. Or everlasting life. And also a place in Iys holy kingdom. Elu'hymn. Friends, soon it would be Iys judgment day. A day which Satan whom Iys called God would be judge. And also all those that are for Satan. They too would be judged. And also all those that are Iys would be with Elu'hymn, in Iys holy kingdom. And they all would be emanated by Elu. And they would be with forever and forevermore. Hallel. Praise the odd. Because Iys coming for Iys chosen people. So let us be ready for Iys return. Friend, if you care to learn more information about whom Iys called the Holy One. And also Elu and Elu'hymn whom Iys the Holy Prophet. And also Elu whom Iys the Odd and also the Almighty and whose name is also called Holy and also the Most High. And also the Sovereign King of all the heavens and the earth. Then would you please check out my messages on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel? Thank you. A link would be placed at the end of this message. Thank you. The end.